Hi, what's up guys? So this is Kemaro for Canvas Pro Timing. So today what I wanna try is to import the Opencv into your Android project using the native C++ NDK. So let's begin. So I'm creating the brand new project. So let's name it as Opencv1. And right here, I'm just going to use the default preset, like a default configuration language. This is basically the Gradle language as a Kotlin DSL build.gradle KTS. So this is recommended, so I just use the recommended one. And the language for the Kotlin and API 24, like this. The minimum SDK has a API 24. The next C++ standard is like this, to change default and finish. Okay, so what I see is here. So let's wait until the Gradle build is rolling. Okay, so it's good. So just make sure at this moment I plugged my mobile right here, and okay, I plugged that again to let it recognize my phone. It is the Google Pixel for Excel, and if I hit the run button, at this moment there is no problem at all, right? So I'm waiting for it being like running. However, it's gonna show up no problem, like a hello world from C++, something like that. So if you look at it, this is like a binding sample text text, a string from JNI. So this function is actually where it's written. If you are familiar with the C++ NDK project, you go here CPP, and there is includes and native lib. So native lib is saying the hellos from C++ and return the string to the Java side, Kotlin side. So whatever it's here, it's written as in the UI. So this is what it does. Like a next step is very important step. Let's try to import the Opencv SDK for the Android. So just you Opencv Android SDK versions. So there is this one release. So you take a look and you will have a bunch of stuff. So the latest one is 4.9.0, and there is this the red mark is kind of stable one, I think. So 4.8.0 is the recommended one, whereas there is two kinds actually. One is version 4, the major version as 4, and the major version as 3. So here it's really sometimes you need both of them. So but let me start with 4 actually. So if you hit Android, it's gonna download already the zip. So I already actually downloaded right here with the Android SDK downloaded and also extracted, because what I initially got was a zip file, and then I extracted out like extract all and then put it here. So I have several kinds already imported, downloaded. So however, I'm going to use the 4.8.0. So let me little bit explain what is inside, right? So if you go inside Opencv Android SDK, and there is samples SDK. So basically you need this SDK folder. Inside you have a lot of stuff. The native basically is important, and then just make sure the build Gradle file is right here. But anyway, native file. Wait, this one. Yes. So the native file, libs and JNI, a lot of things. Libs. Basically, this is like the architecture. In my case, the first one, ARM64VAA, will be called. So this inside the lib opencv java 4 so this is shared object file is basically some content inside, right? So this like shared object file will be loaded and linked with your project and when it's built. So that's very important. So in my case, right here, the documents, and I have this one. So just make sure everything is extracted and just go back to your project, right? So I came back to my project, and what I need to do is to go to the file and new and import module. Okay, not the import project, import module. When you hit it, there's this kind of like pop-up window show up, and then you hit the browse, and then to just go to that SDK folders. Okay, so in my case, there is the documents and 4.8.0. Okay, no, inside, and hit the SDK. This one, you see, hit SDK, and it will recognize your module. And this name you can name it whatever you want, but I just leave it as SDK. Okay, and hit finish. Okay, so this is a problem I always have. It's actually some Gradle file is they got confused. So it's saying basically this line is something is wrong. So I tried like several stuff, right, and to solve this, but actually what I noticed is very easiest way is to basically start your project with the different Gradle file setting. So actually so this is I already investigated, but just make sure you come back here and you create a new project. So opencv3. So when you create the project, as I mentioned, the build configuration language, this is using the Gradle file, Gradle Kotlin file, right? However, you just make sure that you use the kind of legacy Groovy DSL. This is basically written in some other formats. So you hit it, okay, and then go to the next. And then this one you just keep it as a default and finish. So please close the project that you created. If you created with the Kotlin build configuration. So what it's actually changed, right? What it actually changed in the inside the Gradle script, the build of Gradle, this kind of Gradle file, that the way it's written is slightly different. It has a little older format rather than the Kotlin way. But basically it's same. It's just a matter of writing. So whatever you got confused with this like a notation, you can just ask your ChatGPT, and they can convert like to this format if you like. But anyway, so when I started, actually there is no problem that building the project like again, just showing me the hello from C++, something like that. This one, this has no problem at all. So let me again go back to import. So again, the file, new, import module, right? And then do the same things. So for me, the path is the documents, and this opencv 4.8 and opencv under SDK, and hit SDK, and then just make sure the SDK recognize and hit finish. Okay, sometimes you got this too. So namespace not specified. Specify namespace in the module build file. Okay, if you got this error, this is also the problem with some build.gradle file. So when you got this, okay, I will tell you. Go to here and hit a project. Hit a project, my project right here, and inside there is a SDK recognized already. Go SDK, open it up, and then go to the build.gradle inside of the SDK. Okay, so this is basically the Gradle file. It's what I'm saying is previously was this the format style, it's basically now aligned with this application format because I hit the Groovy legacy one. So I just made sure that the format is same basically. And then if this one is set in the Android, you just create a namespace. Namespace as org.opencv. Basically, it was written in somewhere upstairs. Oh, I'm sorry, I was not written here. But namespace org.opencv. It can be something else, but just make sure something like this. And then try sync your Gradle file. Every time you change the Gradle file, yeah, if you're familiar with Android, no problem, but I'm saying just in case, Gradle file needs to be synced. So try it again to see what will happen. So since you already hit the namespace, now I think it's going fine. Just let me wait a little bit. Okay, so it's saying the build successful. It's nice. So let's hit this again to see what will happen. Okay, so the build is no problem right now. So this is the first step. So I'll recap a little bit. So when you create a new project, right? Basically when you create a project, native C++, just make sure you use the Groovy DSL, the legacy one, a little bit. But actually there is no problem. It's just recommended to use the Kotlin style, but the Groovy DSL has no problem. And when you go to next, just hit the toolchain default as standard C++. And then if you import file new import module, just go to the path of your Android SDK, hit SDK, recognize SDK, and finish, right? After that, if you encounter something like namespace things, go to the project and SDK, build a Gradle file right here, and then add one line under the Android section, namespace. So this is basically that's it. To just prepare your app with Android OpenCV Android SDK 4 point something. Okay, so whatever next, let me try with the three OpenCv3 versions. Let's go. So to do that, I need to create a new project again. New project, native C, OpenCv3, and this Groovy. So when you come here, file, again, file new import module, and at this time make sure that you are hitting the 3.4, okay, and SDK to see what will happen. It might work, it might not work. Okay, so I got this problem here, caused by Java run exception. Could not create an instance of type. Okay, let me think about it. Okay, so guys, I noticed whatever in the error log here is saying this, but inside it's actually saying a namespace not specified again. So let me just put the namespace or OpenCV same as before to see what will happen. Okay, build successful. Okay, thank God. So I try to hit it again. Okay, I got a screenshot right here, but it's actually no problem that it's built and it's showing me the hello from C++. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, so to just recap, when you create a new project, when you want to import the opencv3 or 4, whatever, whichever major version, you just make sure the Groovy DSL for this build configuration language, the Groovy DSL. And when you see the namespace issue, when the SDK imported, you just go to the project and SDK. Inside of SDK, you have a build.gradle, and then just add one line namespace org.opencv. I hope this helped you. So in this case, I just loaded the SDK in my project so that I can basically use the opencv in my main activity or whatever the Java files as calling the opencv SDK. So to use the opencv SDK in my project, I'm gonna do it in the next video. So this is just like showing you how to import the SDK. However, in the next video, if you are interested, please watch it, and like I'm gonna create a very naive app. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I hope it helped you. Happy prototyping. See you in the next video. Bye bye.